Welcoming you to our chair yoga for Waldenstrom's class today. I want to get started right away. Our goal today is to calm the minds and support our physical health. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring the hands together at heart center and just begin to gently rub the hands together. Feel the feet on the earth, the seat in the chair, and knowing that you are not alone in this moment. You're part of a large community of folks who want to live well. If you're wearing glasses, you have the option to remove your glasses as we cup the palms over the eyes and just take a break from everything. Taking a break from all of the doing, just to have a little moment of rest away from screens and phones. You could roll the eyes around a little bit. You could take a breath or two here. Nice and easy. And then your choice, if you'd like to keep the eyes closed, we can just bring the hands down into the lap and continue with a little bit of centering breathing. So I'm going to just let my stomach relax for a moment. I'm going to let my belly be full and soft. And I'm going to sip my breath in through my nose. And I might sigh it out the mouth. Sipping the breath in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Letting those shoulders relax as I breathe in. Breathe out. 2 more easy breaths. Just as you are welcome. You could be a total mess and you would be welcome. And then when you're ready, you can blink the eyes open, take your glasses back, and maybe just for a moment establish your perception of the entire room around you. You could even kind of look around for a moment. I don't want us to get so centrally focused on a monitor that we lose our peripheral vision. So you might even gaze somewhere far away and kind of soften the gaze. And as you soften the gaze, you could just notice the field of vision to the left and to the right, the field of vision to the ceiling and the floor. And we'll be returning to this sense of what you can see more of in a felt way and not necessarily in a focused way. So here I am. And then we'll begin with a little bit of movement. So keeping this kind of softness to your gaze, we're going to move the head and neck, starting with moving the head to the right and breathing into center. Exhaling, left ear, left shoulder, breathing into center. Moving from side to side at your own pace. So nice to see you, Jennifer. I don't think I said your name. Kathleen and Mike as well, and Sharon. So glad you could be here today. And as you move the head from side to side, see if you could also let the shoulders and the arms totally relax. And that might mean you let the arms just hang at the sides. So they're even a little bit heavier, pulling the shoulder down away from the ear. Very good. One more on each side. Good, and then we'll come back to center. I'm just going to take my hands to my lap, lean forward, and create my lion's breath, which involves opening my mouth as wide as feels good and sticking my tongue out and creating a little roar. This is good for eliminating neck and jaw tension. gazing off into the distance. For one more. All right. And I like to do that sometimes when I'm just frustrated and I need to let off a little steam, you know? I might feel overwhelmed and I just want to get it out in a healthy way. So it's a healthy way to express maybe a feeling of anger or frustration. So let's go ahead and continue to move the body by bringing both arms out to the side. So I'm holding up my imaginary walls on each side, and I'm just going to take a lot of space between my fingers and then wrap my fingers around my thumbs and drop my knuckles down. So I'm getting a big wrist stretch, breathing in, lifting, spreading the fingers, exhaling, knuckles down. And if this feels like too much, you can drop the arms a little lower, but they don't have to be as high as this. You got it. That's beautiful, Edith. One more. Open, spread those fingers, knuckles down. Beautiful. And then I'm going to rest my arms in my lap and just lift my shoulders up, back, and down a few times. I can feel the effort there. All right. And then let's go ahead and lift just that right arm out to the right, however high feels good to you. So the right arm out to the right, and then I'm tilting my left ear away from that arm. You've got it. And then I'm just going to circle my palm, nice and easy. Noticing the sensations with that soft field of vision, and the arm can move gradually downward, little by little. Bringing the hand to the hip or tucking the arm behind the back, whichever would feel good. So we've got the right arm behind the back, and we're just spinning the chin down and taking a few breaths, sipping the breath in through the nose, sighing it out the mouth. And one more like that. You've got it. Switching sides. I'm going to press my left arm out to the left and just tilt my right ear to my right shoulder and begin to circle that palm, noticing the sensations. Just being present to the direct sensations in my body as I move the palm downward, little by little. And I could rest my hand on my hip, or I could take my arm behind my back. And I'm just going to spin my chin down. Inhale, sipping through the nose, sighing through the mouth. Allowing the shoulders to soften for one more breath. You've got it. All right, and then we'll come back up, and again, taking my gaze to somewhere off in the distance, nice and slow, soft. I'll bring my arms out to the sides, lifting my chest, and maybe bringing my arms back without hiking the shoulders up, right? So squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then we'll bring the hands in front, interlace those fingers, and pull the arms away a little bit so you can feel the space in that upper back. Breathing in, opening wide, heart lifted. Exhale, interlace, pull the arms away. Inhale, open, arch the back. We're undoing the rounded posture. Exhale, interlace, pull the arms away from the body. That's good. Let's do two more. Breathing in, you've got it. Lifting the heart, shoulders down, and interlace, pulling away. Last one, arch the back. You got it. And now we'll interlace and press the palms away. Juice up the fingers. The arms could be at this level or they could be lower, whatever feels good. And then we'll be lifting those palms up to kiss the ceiling or however high feels safe to you. And I'm just going to let the arms drift down at my sides. Good. Inhale, lift the arms up as far as feels good. Exhale, arms down at the sides. Feet on the earth. Let's do a total of 10 of these today. See if you can bring your breath into the foreground as you soften that gaze. And you can make any modifications so you feel comfortable. All right, you're halfway there. You got it. Easy breaths. If you feel tired, you can stop, or you could do 4 more with me. That's good. You could just sit and breathe. Getting a little bit of an upper body workout with this. All right. And just 2 more. Maybe you're doing it in your mind's eye. You got it. Last one. Really nice. I'm going to bring my hands to heart center with this one. Maybe you could bring your hands to heart center too. And closing the eyes, I'm just going to feel the press of my palms. And I can rest my palms on my heart, on my breastbone. And just for a moment, feeling that connection, right and left hands touching. No space between my fingers, my palms, my thumbs. Feeling that vitality coursing through my upper body, right? And if you are not able to fully press, you're pressing to whatever degree feels doable. All right. And then I'm going to bring my arms out in front. And I'm going to make a fist and open the fist a few times. And I might, if this feels like too much because we just did a lot of arm stuff, you could bring the arms down a little bit lower. They don't have to be lifted. Opening and closing. Good. And then I'm going to press each finger one at a time to my thumb. So these are my finger presses, one at a time. Going out to the pinky, one at a time. Doing what you can do. Right? Maybe you want to actually look at your hands for this. Feel the connection of whatever you can feel there, whatever you can do. All right. Maybe one more set. You've got it. One at a time, just pressing one finger to each thumb. You got it, Marty. You got it. And now I'm going to bring my fingertips and my thumbs together. And I'm going to imagine that I have like a little ball of energy, as Rami says, a little ball of energy right here. And I'm going to lift my ball of energy up and bring it down to my heart and then down to my pelvis. So I'm breathing in, lifting my ball of energy up as far as feels safe. And that ball of energy is sliding down to my heart and down to as far down as you would like. Lifting up. And maybe I want to just hover this at my belly for a moment. We'll do one more, lifting up. Bringing that down, and I might just hold this here for a moment. Close my eyes with my feet on the earth. And then I'm going to rest my hands in my lap. Okay, resting my hands in my lap. If you like, go ahead and take a little sip of water or whatever you've got standing by. And we'll address the whole body now, some whole body movements, along with some movements to perhaps assist with peripheral neuropathy in the lower limbs. So I'm going to start just by walking in place. Opposite arm, opposite leg. My core stays stable. I'm breathing, and I've got that soft focus where I'm drinking in everything around me at the same time. So many things to be aware of. And at the end of the day, really, if you can just be aware of your breath, I'll be so happy. You got it. Opposite arm, opposite leg, swinging and walking. And like I was saying in the before I pressed record, for those of you watching the recording, our wellness classes are going to count towards our Walk for Waldenstrom's activities. So you can just come to a class and log that as your activity, and it goes towards our goal to walk around the world together. And I'll explain more in our wellness bulletin coming out soon. Okay, drop those feet down and take a little bit of a wider stance. We're going to circle that torso. Can you breathe in for half? Breathe out for half. Find the pace that feels right for you today. And please know that you can skip anything that doesn't feel right. Juicing up the spine. Good, we'll come back the other direction. If you haven't already gone there, you got it, Marnie, beautiful. Really feeling that spinal movement there, the little arch and the little tuck, right? So you might want to really notice your spine and how it moves while you do this. You might want to do a little bit of an arch of the lumbar, a tiny, tiny bit of the round of the lumbar. And then I'm coming back and just staying here for a moment. I'm going to lift my right arm up and lean over to the left side. And I'll take a few circles of this right arm up and over. And then I'll keep my right arm lifted or rested on my hip and try to extend. So I'm getting a really nice stretch for my right side body. And I might also be using my left arm to kind of twist my heart up towards the ceiling a little bit. Big stretch, and then relax back to center. All right, left arm lifts up and over, and we'll take some circles of that left arm. You got it, Karen. So nice to see you. Breathing in, breathing out. All right, so nice to see you too, Judy. And then you might stay with that left arm lifted or left hand on the hip. And I'm extending and reaching and almost pushing myself away from my leg with my right arm so I can twist my heart up towards the ceiling. Again, that soft focus. And we'll come back to center. Arms to the sides. Take a little bit of twisting to the right and left with a good support of your feet on the earth and seat in the chair. Twisting. And maybe for my twist today, I'll actually bring my arms into a cactus shape and twist as far as feels good to you. Find your breath here. Sometimes I forget to breathe when I'm twisting. And then we'll do one more on each side. And as I come back to center, I'm going to give myself a hug, tuck my chin, and imagine a shower of gold stars raining down on me for taking care of myself today. All those other things on the to-do list can wait. I won't have what I need to do them until I take care of myself. All right, grabbing onto my chair. I'm going to walk my feet in and out. Walking my feet in and out, trying to keep my core relatively stable here. So I'm holding onto my chair. Good. Walking in and out, getting the hips lubricated. All right, and then I'm going to walk my feet in and bring my arms up to like they're holding onto those subway straps. And my arms will walk out and in. So I'm just noticing the field of vision underneath me, to the sides of me, above me, and I'm trying not to be so centrally focused on what's directly in front of me. Good, and I will rest the arms for a moment. Take a breath. Roll those shoulders. And then we're going to turn on that part of the brain that has some connection with both communication and coordination. So I'm going to bring my arms back up into the subway strap posture, and I'm going to soften my gaze again and just walk opposite arm and leg out, opposite out, opposite in, opposites in. I'm breathing as I do this, and if I have to really slow down and think about this, that's fine. Walking in and out. You got it. Walking in and out. Welcoming you, Catherine. So glad you're here. Look forward to catching up with you after class. We're walking in and out. Hard to come right into this as your first movement of the class, so do what you need to do to get warmed up. All right, I'm going to walk both out, all out, and then give myself another hug. Opposite arm on top, tuck my chin, gold stars. All right, releasing my hands down. I'm going to stretch just my right leg out with the heel on the earth. I could hold onto my chair if I needed here. And I'm going to do what I can do today to push my foot down towards the earth. Maybe my toes, my tiptoe can touch, and then pulling the toes back up towards the face. Maybe I want to look down and notice how far I go and just juice up that ankle joint. Supporting the areas surrounding places where you might experience peripheral neuropathy. So getting the circulation, the blood flowing, getting the lymph fluid flowing, asking the muscles to turn on, contract. For one more. And then we'll switch sides with that left leg out to the left, and we're pointing and flexing. Maybe the toes touch, maybe they don't. Pointing down, touching the floor, maybe peeling those toes up towards the face. One or two more on the left side. You've got it. And then let's go ahead and come back to center. And take a moment to connect with your breath. You could close your eyes. And in your mind's eye, you can make a determination about whether you want to stand up for some poses with us. And if you're not feeling that today, you can stay seated and you can practice things in your mind's eye as well as modifying in your chair. So if you're going to stand, doing so mindfully, and just taking a moment to maybe clear the space so you're not going to trip over anything. Taking my gulp of water. I've got my chair here for support. And when you're ready, go ahead and take a moment to root down through the feet. Feeling the toes, feeling all the parts of the feet that are touching, and noticing what's not touching. And then from here, I'll invite you just to bend that right knee and massage the toes here on the right foot. I'm going to bend the left knee, and I'm giving the toes a little massage there. So I'm moving from side to side, bending the knee, keeping my toes pushing down into the earth. And then if you like, you could stay doing this if this feels like it's the right thing for you. If you want to come up onto your tiptoes, again, I'm turning on my soft field of vision. I notice what's beneath me and to the sides of me, and I'm going to come up onto my tiptoes and relax back down. I'm doing this at my own pace. I might do a total of 10 of these. Moving at my own pace, deciding whether I want to involve my arm or arms. You got it. Maybe I can keep a little softness in both of my knees as I do this. Halfway there for me. Got it. That's beautiful, Lois. Floating and landing a couple more times. So nice. All right. And I'm just going to walk it out a little bit. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Maybe you want to hold on to something for this. Walking it out. You've got it. Very nice. Soft field of vision. What can you see without looking down? Can you see your knees moving? Can you see your toes? I'm going to kick out my toes now. I'm going to kick them out. Can I see my toes? All right. And now I'll root down with a little bit of a wider stance and take some hip circles. Moving in one direction, breathing in for half, breathing out for the other half. Getting the energy flowing. Got it. So nice to see your puppies joining us during the classes. Changing which direction. The circle's moving, and Gordon's dog really likes this exercise. All right, now if you remember, if you've been to any of our Tai Chi classes, you will remember what Rami calls the windmill. And so you can do this by rooting down through the feet and just kind of turning the torso and letting the arms swing. He likens it to a Chinese drum, which I don't know if you've seen that or not, and I'm allowing the hands to just kind of hit anywhere on my body. We're not necessarily focused on organs as we would be in Tai Chi. I'm just going to let my arms hit. So I let them swing and dangle. At the very last second, I kind of pull them in and give my body a little tap, a little good job, a little pat. And now, if you want a little more action, as you swing from side to side, you could lift the heel up and turn. Right? I'm going to keep my head forward the whole time as I swing. And I tell you, when we do this in class with Rami, he sets a timer for 3 minutes for a lot of our things. And it feels like an eternity to me. It really does. But then after the class, I feel so good. I think, well, I guess I should be maybe doing some things longer. But I have like a hummingbird / butterfly pace about me. All right, maybe 1 or 2 more. And then let's attend to this part of the body that we can tend to get very tight from sitting a lot or from doing repetitive motion like walking or biking. So the psoas muscle or the hip flexors, every time we do our warrior one posture, we are stretching this muscle. So let's try that now. I'm going to step my right foot forward and bring my left foot back at a little bit of an angle. And then I'll bend into my right knee and I'll make any adjustments so that I can feel my left hip flexor, my left hip getting a stretch. My torso's upright and I'm squeezing that left glute muscle. Option to keep the hands on the chair or bring the hands to heart center or do whatever you want with those arms, softening the gaze. Sipping the breath in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Sinking a little deeper. Really nice. Moving out of it slowly. I'll shorten my stance. Both legs can stay straight. And I could take my hands onto my hips, or I could rest my hands on the chair. And I'm just going to lean my heart forward without jutting my chin too far forward. That's good, Marty. So a little tuck of that chin. And I'm engaging my legs by lifting my kneecaps. So nice, strong legs. Squeezing my shoulder blades together. Right, so not necessarily really pulling the arms back, but just a little bit as if I could lace you up between the shoulder blades, just bringing those shoulder blades together a little bit. Tucking that chin. You've got it. And now I'm coming up nice and slow and switching sides. You got it, Joe. Left foot forward, right foot back at a little bit of an angle, and I'm bending my left knee. And I'm making any modifications so I can feel the stretch in my right hip as I squeeze that right glute muscle and I bring my hands into whatever position feels good. You could do a flow, you could rest the hands at heart center. You could do the energy ball that we did before with the fingertips touching. I'm finding my breath, softening my gaze. And then releasing when I'm ready to release. And moving into the second posture, pyramid pose. So I've shortened my stance, the left foot still forward. I'm going to take hold of one hip or both hips. And I'm just going to lean my heart forward without rounding my back. Tuck that chin. You've got it. Pull the belly towards the spine. And don't worry so much about whether you're doing it right. Make it feel good and right to you. Make any modifications so you feel more stable or at ease. Engage the legs. Good. And then come on up. We'll take a balance pose, and then we'll begin to wind down. Okay, so let's do something a little different. Instead of looking at the monitor, I want you to find a place to look that is not the monitor today, making sure that you have your support. So we're going to be just doing our flamingo pose, but I want you to choose a different place to look than you normally do. Okay, so maybe it's out the window, maybe there's a tree you can focus on, or a lamp post, or something kind of far away. And before we even do anything, I want you to notice what you can see beneath you. Right? Maybe it's just a part of the floor or something. So we're just kind of aware of that. And then I'll take a little bendy bounce with my gaze straight ahead and my awareness. And I'll bring my weight into my right foot. I'm going to pick up my left heel. I could keep my toe on the earth and sort of see how that would feel to take my hand off the chair with my toe on the earth. And then maybe I would like to explore lifting the toe up, hugging it in. Right, so my goal is to stand on one leg until I find my edge and wobble out of it. That is my goal. My goal is to notice this with compassion and without judgment. How this feels for me in my body right now, today, could be different from yesterday. And I'm just practicing standing on my right leg. It's beautiful. When you're ready to come out, come on out and kick it out. So we want to bring a little bit of juice back into that right knee, that right leg. Kick it out. Maybe you want to give a little finger snap. All right, and then we'll do the other side. Maybe you want to look somewhere else for this side. And I am, again, softening my gaze, bringing my weight into the other leg, that left leg, softening the knee, and maybe I start with my toe on the earth. And I am finding my edge, purposefully finding my edge. Finding my breath. Again, noticing what's below, what's to the sides. Feeling that work, feeling that effort, feeling that ease. And then coming out of it when I'm ready. You got it. Nice, guys. That side looked really stable and solid. Kick it out, snap it out, and even if you were doing it in your mind's eye, gold stars raining down on you. When you're ready, come on and take a seat. Take a sip and take a seat. Mindfully sitting. And we'll take that right ankle over the left knee and see how that feels. Maybe when you get here, you'd like to rub the bottom of that right foot or give the lower limb a little bit of attention, massage or tapping. And then when I'm ready, I'll just lean forward ever so slightly, softening the shoulders, getting my hip stretch. I'll move my mind to the part of the body where I'm experiencing sensation. And I'll just breathe through that. Breath after breath. It's always different on the other side. The other side of my practice, the other side of one breath, whatever it is, it's always going to change. Sitting up tall, you can cross the knee over, and I want to get a really delicious twist in now. So I'm going to inhale and I'm going to sit up tall, and as I exhale, I'm going to twist my body to the right using my own torso muscles, and then I can bring my hands down wherever they touch in support of this. And I might also be kind of pressing the knees towards one another as I twist, twist, twist to the right, softening shoulders, letting the breath move, and thinking about that massage I'm giving my internal organs here, and that nice lubrication I'm giving the discs in my back. As I come back, as I twist back, all the blood flowing back, nice and fresh. And between sides, I'm going to give my abdomen some circular motion. Could be a really light touch. And I'm going to allow my belly to soften after that twist, after all of that work. Take some breaths. 2 more circles. Very good. And then we'll cross that left ankle Over the right knee, give a little massage, lower limb or the bottom of the foot. Whatever's available, you can tap, you can massage, you can have the dog lick you, whatever works. Over at Gordon's house, we have a very active dog today. And I wonder what would happen if I began to speak directly to Toffee, the Labradoodle or Golden Doodle, I forget which. Toffee, sit. Nothing. Oh, maybe she did sit. All right, so let's come into our hip stretch. I'm just going to lean forward, softening my shoulders. Again, moving my mind to that direct experience of sensation. Where do you feel the sensation? Breathing into that. Beautiful. Just finishing up the hip stretch on the left side. And then when you're ready to come out of it, we'll move to our twist. I'm going to get a really healthy twist here by starting with a nice tall spine. And as I sit up straight, I'm going to breathe in. As I exhale, I'll twist my body to the left. Bring my hands to support the twist and remind my shoulders just to relax a little bit here. Breathing in, breathing out. Could be a very gentle twist if that's what you need today. Imagining all of the internal organs getting a little massage. And then as we rotate back to center, all of that blood flowing back in nice and fresh. And we can take a couple more belly rubs here. Circular motion. Feeling the feet on the earth. Allowing the belly to just soften for a moment. Good. And then I'll keep one hand on my belly and I'll bring the other hand to my chest. And I'm going to take some bees breaths here. So as I breathe in through the nose, I'm going to expand in my body. As I breathe out, with my mouth closed, I'm going to create a little humming sound like that of a bee. I'm not going to force this. I'm not going to try to have it be the longest sound ever in the universe. I'm just going to make some little light sounds and see where I feel it in my body. Now switch which hand is on top, or bring the hands into the lap, whichever feels better. And I'm going to take 5 more bees breaths, whatever pace. Last one. Bringing the hands to heart center. Imagining all of the other Waldenstrom's bees and feeling that reverberation, that echo of our community. In our community practice, you are not alone, you are never alone. So I'll close our class today with just 1 Om and 3 Shantis. Shanti means peace. And let's see if we can send the Shantis out to the people who need them most today. Breathing in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thanking you so much for your practice today, friends. Namaste. I hope to see you tomorrow for our mindfulness meditation. That's a 30-minute practice where we explore staying present in stages. And that will be at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Friday, we'll have our cardio flow class. Come and do what you can do. And I'll see you when I see you.